you're loving the stream, if you're enjoying the content, consider supporting us with a subscription. It goes a long way, it helps out a lot. We really appreciate it. If you do, as we have in the top left, our Blue Protoss player, it is MaxPax. Here in game number 1 of this best of 3, in the bottom left-hand side, the red Zerg player, nearly had another Protoss in my head. This is going to be Solar. So yeah, these guys obviously were ready to play their semi-final. They had the vetoes done and the lobby hosted. Pretty much, I mean, they've been sitting in this lobby for 20 minutes, so they were waiting for Hero Clem Game 2 to finish, thinking Clem was going to win, and that didn't happen, so they've been waiting patiently. As always, shout out to the players, A, for just taking part. This event, or these events, would not be the same without them naturally, but B, for also putting up with us when we request to cast both semi-finals and so on as well. Game 1 of this ZVP as we get underway. Thank you so much again. We have a ton of YouTube viewership right now. I think we just peaked at like 450, 480 YouTube views or something, which is ridiculous. If you're on that YouTube stream, do us a favor, hit that like button just below the stream. Scroll down, takes 2 seconds, hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber on the channel as well, consider subscribing to the YouTube. Also a great way to see when we're live again. We are putting out nigh on daily StarCraft 2 streams at the moment, so please check that out. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, seeing, and want to see more. Next is building up Hatch Gas and Pool on the way in as Solar and MaxPax get settled here on Amphion for the opening game. I'm going to do some research on when these two last played each other, because I'm really trying to recall. Like I say, Solar didn't play stuff for a little while. So I'm not sure if they've really met recently. I can't recall casting them as of late. I also cast a lot of games, so maybe I cast them and it was just not that big of a deal or so. They played in WardiTV Mondays number 5, which about 4 weeks ago, MaxPax won that one 2-0. Solo won the one before 2-1 in the round of 8, and WardiTV Mondays 3. That's the only 2 times they played each other in the past 4 or 5 months, so yeah, basically just meeting in this event. Like I said, it's been a few weeks. I was just wondering if they've been playing more frequently than that, but sounds about right. There's that Overlord. Heals off over to the side. Going to have our link speed coming up, couple queens, drones, all on the way through the Stargate building from MaxPax. The next is about a complete warp gate coming in at the same time. So we bring that warp gate up and online, get that going, Stalker coming through. And yes, guys, this tournament today is the old patch. It's not on the PTR at all. Like I say, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday this week, we will have patch content for you guys. So if you want to watch some patch games, you can also go back and watch yesterday's VOD or the last few days of VODs. We've been covering the patch pretty much non-stop. So yeah, back to the live server for today, and back to the patch and testing out the new stuff and the new maps and everything. What does PTR stand for? It's Public Test Realm. Basically, it's a server which is basically there for public testing. It's got changes on it. It's not the live server, it's a different server, but it's there for just public testing, basically. I think it's like PTR specifically is Public Test Realm, and Realm refers back to when there was like I think it's like a WoW thing where it's like different realms. I don't know how far back it goes, but that would be my assumption. Yo, my boy Andy Figueroa 79 with the bits yesterday and coming in at the prime sub today on the 4 months. Welcome back, mate. Thank you so much for the resub. Welcome back. And thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Oracle activates as we're actually going to get rid of a lava on the low ground already. A couple of queens coming over. The Oracle will take some damage as well. Just going to see a few drones continuing to produce. A couple of queens on the way out. And the queens will continue to hit that Oracle, pushing it back around. 3 drones going down as the second Oracle shows up on the top side. So MaxPax comes in for 5 kills in total in the early stages. That's really nice to see. That's actually really sick. Good damage done early. Damage like that definitely leads you into some pretty good advantages a lot of the time. So great place to be at as the Oracle gets back up the map. Try counts and Forge coming into play. Nexus about to finish. Probes in production. Pylon about to be done. 2 more gates dropping down from MaxPax. Oracle continues to move about. Seeing our queen going to be there. Oracle taking a few shots. Couple of drones just going to be taken out again. So once more, MaxPax already doing well early in this game. The Adepts and Oracles together are going to press forward, and with the Revelation going down, a little bit of creep starts to get cleaned out. These Adepts will shade. The Lings are going to be there. They're going to show themselves to the Adept shades. They're just going to say, no, do not shade. I've got Lings here. I don't want to deal with you right now. Please cancel. And that's exactly what will happen, is now the Lings actually going to come forward and try and fight. Oh, that was quite nice. We activated the, forced the Oracles to activate, but then the Lings disengaged before the Oracles even really got to fire. So that's a really big moment. That's a big plus. That is a big, big plus as the Link continues to Chrono Boost. The +1 attack is on the way as well. Continue to bring that out. Again, +1 blink coming through. Temple Archives is coming by. A couple Stalkers still shooting at the Lings. So a few hits continue to come about there. Again, +1 attack, blink, Temple Archives building, Roach Speed, Roaches, and Infestation Pit coming through as well. We do have ourselves 11 Roaches still producing on in. So a lot of Roaches coming up right now. The Infestation Pit still coming through as well. Stalkers and Oracles together looking to try and keep pressing forwards as our Lings try and get a little wrap around. Pylon gets cancelled. The Stalkers and Oracles moving over still. Things chilling in the top right. Charge and Storm can build up. The robotics facility will start as well. The army from MaxPax coming down to the bottom. The wraparound Adept is taken out immediately. Now going to be seeing the Nidus Network coming up. But Solar trying to get into Swarm Hosts. This is going to be a scary moment for him defending this as he's going to Swarm Host, but they're not ready yet. I feel like this is good for MaxPax. Already pressuring. Storm on the way. Hey, okay, cancelled 4th phase. That's a win for Solar at the very least. He's able to pull those Lings back as well. Plenty of Stasis Wards available right now. Can these Lings pop some of them? They will pop one. That's good. The more you pop preemptively, the less likely it is you get caught in a major moment in those Stasis Wards, which is obviously something you'd love to avoid, if at all possible. The Oracle stays activating. The Roachling Queen pushing back. Oracle still getting shoved away. We're going to drop an inject down. The Swarm Hosts are in the Nidus Network. So they're kind of hiding in there, not revealing themselves. I mean, you don't really want to use them defensively. You almost always want to be attacking, and I assume this is just a case of going to be trying to get that big Nidus up and just make this first wave of Swarm Hosts as surprising as possible. Where we add Vision Rise, probably a Nidus here is most likely. I say it literally as I jump over here, it goes down. It makes sense. The other Nidus possibility was like here or here. That's just too obvious. You may as well just drop here and hit that 3rd base. And this could be a huge moment. MaxPax is setting up to play defense on the 4th, but yeah, the 3rd could just die. As the Nidus pops, the Swarm is coming through. Oh, the Zealots found the Nidus! Oh, wow, MaxPax finds it and kills it. Now we're going to go to the left side. Well, this can't be hit. That's why this map's a good Nidus location. But that delays. I mean, the first wave of Locusts is kind of getting to the point where it's extremely late now, right? Well, I guess we can use the Oracles. Oh, Queens pop out, though, so the Queens are going to be good. Transfusions, Oracles get pushed away. More Swarm Hosts should be able to spawn in. As we start to attack here, we're going to try and dive through the Storms. Oh my god, the Roach Ravager is getting absolutely brutalized. High Storms at the moment. The Swarm Hosts are going to get ready to pop, and where they're going to go, we don't know, because the Nidus died, so the Swarm Hosts aren't even active still. Solar has yet to bring the Swarm Hosts into play. 2 Swarm Hosts only. The rest of them are still inside, not even used yet. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Rest of these Swarm Hosts going to be hopefully getting involved soon. I mean, the longer you go with that, I mean, this has been like 2 wave of Locusts we've missed out on now. Just so much potential, just completely missed. Are we actually going to have to drop these Locusts onto these Stalkers? It looks like we will. That's not ideal. You don't really want to do that. You kind of want to be using those Locusts into the base. Trading with units that can just blink away is not really usually a factor, although they blink into a corner. Locusts get a good few Stalker kills. Solar having to deal with that Prism right here. Nidus still available in this position as we are going to drop these Locusts, and we're just going to drop a few of them down onto the Stalkers once more. We're getting stormed on the Roach Ravager over on this side. A handful of Locusts just do not feel like they're going to do much. These ones will get these Stalkers again, though. I mean, that's definitely been way better than expected, but overall, the Swarm Hosts have kind of been a wash. They've been a bit of a disaster, I would say. Still eating Storm after Storm on the Roach Ravager as well. Couple more Archons morph. Stalkers blink across. Please don't say these are going to land on this. Yeah, they are. Oh my god. Like, I mean, don't be wrong, he's trading with Stalkers, which is better than I expect, but I mean, I guess I'm consistently expecting these Stalkers not to kind of end up doing so well. Or to see the Locusts not do so well. I expect the Stalkers to get away, a bit more like what we just saw there. Now we have a Prism in the main base, though. MaxPax's going to have to deal some damage there while Solar tries to deal with it. Oh my goodness, we're actually going to see a proper Swarm Host Rave entering a base of MaxPax. This is unheard of in this game, as that's so many Zealots in the main. Storm allowing you to push forward here. This is very Ravager heavy, very flimsy units. Burst of Bowers will take down the incoming Stasis Ward, but man, we need more. No, the Locusts are AFK. This has been the worst of the Locusts I've ever seen. GG to Solar, man. I actually think a lot went right in this game for Solar, but anything that involved the Swarm Host went so wrong that's never been a QE in my life.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Why?
No, just, I mean, maybe like cut up in like a fruit salad or something, but like I've never intentionally been like, you know what, I'm gonna eat a kiwi today.
Really? Have you ever had a no? I was gonna ask if you ever had a golden kiwi.
Well, if I have not had a normal kiwi, probably haven't qualified for a golden one.
The golden kiwis are actually better.
Yeah?
Yeah. This is a rich person thing. I really knew about it. The golden kiwis are super expensive. Like, if you buy these, you need to stream for like 16 hours a day, Wardy. And you need multiple Raid Shadowland Legends ads. Like, they're freaking... and I thought that it was like a scam thing, you know? How a lot of things that rich people do is just a scam. Like, you know, they buy the clothes with the logo on it. It's like, now it's like 50 times the price. I thought it was the same with the golden kiwi. The golden kiwi is actually tastier. And it's more expensive.
That's, so are you able to afford golden kiwis now?
No, sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah, actually, most of the time, Irene steals the kiwi. I mean, she takes the kiwis from her work when they're about to be thrown out otherwise. Although, she's never seen the fruits being thrown out, but she believes that they might thrown out if she doesn't take them.
So Irene's a thief, and that's the only way you can afford golden
No, she's saving the fruits from the trash can.
Well, you don't know that.
No, but I think it's fair to assume. Big corporations don't care.
I see.
You know that Clem doesn't eat any fruits?
None?
He doesn't like them at all.
I saw
Apples,
him eat an apple
strawberries,
once. I
bananas.
saw him eat an apple.
Sorry?
I swear I saw him eat an apple one time.
No, it's not true. He doesn't eat them.
What does he eat?
Not fruits.
Okay.
But you mean there's lots of other things that aren't fruits, Vardy. He eats like potatoes and vegetables. He doesn't mind meat.
Uh-huh.
But the fruits, he doesn't.
Fruits? Okay.
Yeah, he's and I couldn't believe this. I've never met anyone like this in my entire life. So I spent, when we were in Bulgaria, I think I spent an entire dinner just naming different fruits because I couldn't believe he wouldn't like any of them. So I just went to like all the fruits I knew, and then I was just throwing them at him. And then he would say, never tried it, but it sounds disgusting. Or he'd say, I tried it, it's disgusting. Like, he just likes mango, pineapple, strawberry, blackberry. He doesn't like any of them.
I'm speechless. Well,
it's crazy, no?
Is this the secret to being good at StarCraft, not eating fruit?
How is it possible that you cannot like pineapple?
Love pineapple.
Yeah, and mango.
I mean, you
right?
love pineapple so much you buy 2 at a time. I'm still baffled by
We finished them as well. And we finished the nasty pineapple rings too.
That's crazy. You finished them all?
Yeah,
Don't buy them again.
We ate we must have eaten like 3 kilos of pineapple over the past 4 days or so. That also can be healthy.
Probably not.
No.
Did you watch game 1?
No, I was convincing my stream that eating the skin of the kiwi is very normal.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. What happened?
Solar made Swarm Host, and I think he successfully casted Locust like twice. He tried to Swarm Host Nidus, and MaxPax was kind of all over it. Like, the Swarm Host killed a few Stalkers, but you know when Swarm Host actually needed to do damage? They just didn't do that. So,
and then MaxPax won?
Yeah. It was like he was kind of winning a lot of the bigger fights. I think if the Swarm Host did some extra work while he took some of the fights, Solar would have been fine, but the Swarm Host basically shouldn't have, could have just not been made. It would have been the same, so can't win like that.
Yeah. So I was getting distracted. A guy said, you've been to Bulgaria, the cucumbers and tomatoes here actually are so flavorful. And this is something that basically every single Bulgarian that you will ever meet will tell you is that their tomatoes are tastier than regular tomatoes.
Right.
But I've tasted them, Marty. Like, this is not something that is like impossible to find out. You just eat a tomato, and then you test it. So I ate a tomato. It tastes like a regular old tomato to me. Guess what they told me when I told them that? It's probably imported.
Why, like tomatoes and cucumbers? That's wild.
I don't know. It's
what a weird thing to be proud of.
Well, I mean, if they're actually very good, I would be proud of that.
Yeah, but what a weird thing to kind of like hold a hoax on. People will be like, "We'll tell everyone our tomatoes and cucumbers are really good," and then someone eats one and they're like, "Oh shit, we didn't plan for this." Tell them it's imported, I guess.
Yeah, it's like the drop bears, except that one, you can just say, you didn't meet any, maybe you got lucky. It's a very weird scam, yeah.
So how's your StarCraft going today?
I want to play some games against young Jakob. Last night I played some against him and I was blasting him. So I was like, all right, I'm going to show the boys on the stream that sometimes I do win. So I was like, young Jakob, play some games. He owned me.
Typical hostile stream experience.
Yeah. Like, some of these guys, I think, have never seen me win a game. They've watched me for like 50 hours.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, what's also impressive? Killing 8 workers here. What has he lost so far? 5 units.
Yeah, 5 adepts. Got a bunch of drones, got a bunch of lings. It's kind of how last game started as well. He got quite a few workers early in the game. Put himself into a nice little position. And that's when obviously he went into Swarm Host, so it got a little interesting. But yeah, MaxPax kind of controlled from start to finish last game. And just had a good transition time and hit Storm at a really good point in the game as well. Probably going to be important to have Storm here. Melee upgrade from Solar going to mean that he's going to be Ling focused, he's going to be Ling Hydra, so Storm is going to be wonderful against everything that Solar's building.
Yeah, this is one of the standard openers right now. It's just blink into Storm, and then a lot of the time, if you have like 3-4 minutes, you might want to add some Immortals. I've seen Showtime do even a second Robo. A lot of the Koreans, they love just straight up going into Tempest as well from here, and then like mixing in Immortals from a single Robo. I think it's so powerful because really one of the only viable things that Zerg can do from this position is going into some type of lurker play. And low numbers of lurkers or low numbers of Immortals aren't that great against the lurkers. While if you get low numbers of Tempest, they're freaking phenomenal against lurkers.
Yeah. Well, we actually have Hive and Lug then coming straight up as Stalker's going to be pressuring, so Solar's going to have to do some surviving here. Storm's halfway done. Stalker's going to open up the rocks. They have access to both bases of Solar as well, and just going to use the Revelations, push that creep spread back, and just keep Controller from kind of feeling any opportunity on the map. We do have Lings counterattacking for the Cybernegs core, and that will go down. There's not going to be a defense on it, so Cyber core falls, and that's going to stop some of the Warpins outside of Zealots. There's now an Oracle gets a Stasis Ward in, and these Stalkers are just trading. These Hydras cannot really come soon enough. I mean, Solar has to defend this right now, otherwise he's in big trouble. I think he might just be in big trouble.
Yeah, it doesn't look great here, Wardy.
Does not know.
Actually, one could even say that it looks quite freaking bad. Solar has currently 0 advantages. That he's up 6 workers, but we don't really count that. He has almost no creep on the map. His tech isn't extraordinarily fast. The one nice thing is that he killed the Cybercore, so a second Robo wasn't viable. MaxPax also hasn't added any follow-up tech yet in the form of Fleet Beacon and second Stargate, so maybe there is something here. The one thing I'm really struggling to see is how he's even going to hold a standard like Templar Stalker attack. Even with just like 3-4 Storms here, like there's nothing that holds Storm very well. It's Ling Hydra.
Yeah. No, no, it's kind of terrible, right? I mean, he is on the lurker den if he wants to try and sneak a couple out, but not exactly ideal. As we try and play the chasing game, the few Lings get caught in stasis. We do pop the other stasis as well. And we do have already MaxPax, though, sending units up the top side of the map, so he's going to be readying up the counterattacks and the, aggression all over the place. Looking to make this a very difficult game for Solar in really just the next few moments.
Yeah. I'm honestly shocked that MaxPax isn't moving out right now. Okay, he's gonna start moving forward. He has 7 Templar. And he has a Zealot run by and a Prism. I mean, he can go for a 3-prong. and he can probably win at every single angle. Another thing that MaxPax could do is just nothing and get Tempest out. Like, Solar is also just on 4 bases, which is really sad if you're playing Lurker because you need so much gas. And he's, I mean, how many Lurkers is he gonna get? He has 3 out, he's gonna get 6 more. You have, we don't even, wait, we don't have Seismic Spines on the way?
No, he didn't start anything off the Lurkers.
Wait, what? I don't think he knows.
Yeah, I think he just assumed he started when the Lurk den finished, because it finished a little while ago, but he was busy defending, and I think it's just slipping his mind now as Tempest and a Mothership coming up. MaxPax already transitioning nicely to deal with the Lurkers as well. I mean, he is just in control of this game, right? Every step he takes at the moment is a step in a very good direction for him.
Yeah, it's giving his opponent a bit too much breathing room in my mind, though. Like the free Lurker morph here, this 5th base, I don't think Solar had the right to take it. Now we're going to move forward with the Stalker Templar. We still have a Zealot run by, active on the left side. Prism did end up going down here, right? Or did it teleport? Oh no, it's still in the corner, sorry.
It's in the corner. Yeah.
Okay. I think MaxPax, there's like a 25-second window now where he needs to be a little bit careful. That's the only thing that I'm afraid of. But after like 20 seconds from now, he's just in a banging spot.
Yeah. Well, these Lurkers are going to figure out what to do. We are going to see a couple different directions of the attack coming in from Solar, so as he takes the attention of MaxPax on the goal, the Lurkers and Hydras are going to start setting up elsewhere. It's not really the best of siege positions. Like, Solar's a little off with his some of his setups, although these Lurkers now actually did get a chance to hit some Stalkers at least. Prism across the map's going to go down, so that is not going to see any other action, so that's a good shutdown from Solar. Gives him some room to just focus on this other side as he now goes into Seismic Spines, realizing the lack of upgrade on those Lurkers. Starts Aspire as well, because Corruptors are likely going to be of importance in the later stages with the Tempest count growing. So Solar setting up as best he can, but MaxPax definitely did not feel any heat off of that kind of time window that Solar maybe had. Nice defense, though. I mean, keeps on shutting down those Zealots. Yeah.
Why didn't he send the 6 Lurkers to the 5th base? Cannons weren't up. These Lurkers just sat there for like a minute doing nothing.
Yeah, no, he's... I feel like Solar's multitasking is struggling a little bit. And it was kind of the same in the first game as well, honestly. Like, there was moments where things could have done more, and you would expect them to do more, and they just didn't, you know? So, a little bit off from expectation, but... yeah, maybe just a rough game or two. I mean, still it'd be classic to get here, so it's not like his ZVP's been looking bad. Just MaxPax making this one tough as you're going to see a Viper coming up as well. We do have Tempest in the Mothership, obviously going to be a big controlling factor at the moment. Another run on the left-hand side as we try and again get this Link Hydra Lurker into position. A Stalker goes down. We're just going to reposition the rest of these units around the gold base. And yeah, +3 missiles, +3 melee, extra Corruptors, all continuing into play.
Yeah. I love this type of Tempest play, where you just completely split off the Tempest from the main army. You can really push back aside as long as there's no Corruptors out. I think the moment TOS gets any type of map control back and they have Tempest, it is a serious issue for the Zerg, because over time you're just going to be trading better. There needs to be something happening. Solar here gets called out of position by the Prism, now needs to move his run-by army back home, and that means that the Tempest can continue pushing forward. That's why this Prism is such a huge deal, and that's why Zealot run-bys are such a huge deal generally. Like, this fight can never go well for Solar, unless like MaxPax falls asleep. You can't go in with the Corruptors. You should not be capable of catching anything with Vipers either, and I don't think with 6 Lurkers you can really run into this. There's enough Immortals on the ground as well. I think MaxPax is actually just going to win the battle here, and probably, honestly, the entire game if he manages to push through. Corruptors are trying to move in forward. Not going to get a whole lot of kills. Oracle does get sniped. It's only 3 Lurkers here. Like, that is very beatable with this army.
Yeah. Very frustrating kind of composition to be up against, right? Because once it gets in place, that MaxPax force, you're right, how do you really attack into it? You kind of don't, but then if it's on the map, then you kind of have to in a way, otherwise you're just letting them kind of sit on top of your base locations. I mean, that's why with the army you have, you probably wanting to be more active and moving around everywhere, but that didn't work either for Solar, as now we have ourselves a army of MaxPax that really is looking to just keep on pushing through, getting through this gold base and playing cleanup.
Yeah. 2 Lurkers gonna get taken out already. Lurker count right now is at 6. Corruptor count is very healthy at 22. Perhaps even a bit too healthy. Do we need 22 Corruptors to deal with 6 Tempest? I don't actually think so. And I mean, if you clear the Tempest in the end, you still need to fight the ground army as well. So then you'll need to morph into Brood Lords. But if you're down one base already, morphing into brutes is not going to be great. Ling run by might cancel the 6. That would actually be a pretty big play here. Here comes Solar as well, moving in with lurkers, with all of those corruptors. Should be capable of sniping at least the mothership. Now it's going to get these oracles as well. This was a surprisingly decent fight here for Solar. I had not expected it to go this well.
Wow.
But I still think MaxPax is winning as long as he gets the remax even a little bit. Like he doesn't even need to remax, just get back to 150 supply.
Yeah, the problem, I mean, MaxPax has a ton of money. The problem for Solar is from here, it's like you've got a bunch of deadweight corruptors for a moment or two, so they can't do much to try and cause spray. They get turned away. The Great Spire's not ready. So you can't capitalize on the back of that as much as you might like, and so MaxPax has time to rebuild, and that's the issue, right? MaxPax is rich. So you win one fight, now go do it again, and probably again if you really want to win this game, and that's the uphill battle that Solar is facing. So yeah, you've done it once, but you're going to have to keep on trying to make it happen.
This is possible though, if he can get up here. There's no storms really in position. If these Templar were here on top of the ramp, it's a different story. But now this base is going to get knocked out. 6th base is also going to fall. A lot of probes go down here, Wardy. All of a sudden, yes, the bank is still big, but really we don't have a whole lot of mining anymore. Solar is going to continue pushing in through as well with a relatively low lurker count, but big enough to fight this ground army. There are 3 Tempests in the sky, but we're lacking oracles for that revelation. That means that MaxPax is going to have to give up this base. There are no Zealot run-bys active on the map either. I think that could have been huge here. That could have been so freaking helpful. But it's not the case. I think the best chance for Max right now is to just max out on a big army and then kind of push on the map with a relatively low worker count. You're going to have a huge fighting potential still.
Storm's coming around as the Archon's Tempest's going to fire up a few shots. MaxPax supply struggling a little bit here. Solar trying to capitalize. Another ship is about to pop out as well. More corruptors from Solar, who's, you know, resetting the economy in his favor. Obviously, MaxPax getting pushed all the way down to 3 bases. Kind of a big moment in this game as Solar is going to let up the pressure. Kind of feels okay, right? If MaxPax is only on the 3 base, he's got a double expand now, backing up, resetting, and going again to re-deny the new bases. Seems like a better plan than pushing into that 3rd.
Yeah. I do think that Solar needs to be ready to base trade at any moment, though. Like, if MaxPax goes for a 200 supply army, he's going to have a massive 200 supply army that is powerful on the ground and should have decent numbers in the air as well. It's going to be capable of maxing out. We see a Zealot run by towards the left. There are no spines on the left. There's a single spine on the right. I'm not sure how easy this is going to be to deal with here for a Solar. We do have some oracles right now on the map, right? I think we have 1. Yeah, okay, it's coming in. That's going to be very helpful. Without that oracle, I don't think there's much the Protoss player can do. Observer's going to get sniped. Viper does not have energy for... No, actually has enough energy for an abduct. Ooh.
Templars are dying.
That's a rookie move.
Yeah, that's a big mistake. At the same time, there is a bit of action on the right side. Some Zealots again trying to get through, but Lurkers and Lings combined are going to get the kills there as well. And Solar is able to clean up on the right.
Yeah. I love the army that Max is working with, though. He uses a time warp. This is very preemptive. Is this on West? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes some sense, because that time warp was insane. That's the time warp of a man that's afraid of the ping.
Well, we do see a little chase forward now. Going to get the Oracle, so Revelation's going to be denied for a little bit. We'll force a new one of those to come out. We are starting to see a few carriers taking places. Bet you are going to get Ling Hydra attacking around the left. The Hydra DPS is great on those Zealots, enough to help go through them. So that base on the left side going to be in trouble. One of the new bases coming back online for MaxPax. Immediately an issue that we're going to see the Archon's going to be able to get a ton of corruptors as he try to dive through. Solar just donated a bunch of corruptors, and there's nothing to say about that other than that was a donation. They did not need to attack there. That was silly.
Yeah, but overall, decent trades. We have 16 more corruptors. I'm actually not a huge fan of carriers in this particular situation. For really just one reason, and that is that if you are so much worse in eco, the Zerg can often force a trade against carriers. That is, like, they can basically say, okay, I might not get an efficient trade, but I can get a trade that is not god-awful. Well, if you're playing a Tempest Archon Immortal maxed out army, which I think is the best army that TOS can have, you can often just have no trades. Like, the Zerg is just losing units over time, as long as TOS remains stable. I really think it is... the carriers are going to make his life a little bit harder. Now, of course, he does have +3 attack, and there are 0 armor upgrades, But with one parasitic bomb, all of those interceptors might just end up dying very rapidly.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an intense fight when it comes around. MaxPax's bank completely drained as well, so no money kind of banked up ready to go instantly. Solar, that's the guy in the bank, all the arrows point in his favor as well, so the income is looking good for Azurg, who is still kind of only working on these initial 5 to 6 bases though, right? This is a big map with a lot of bases. You'd expect maybe Solar to try and go for some of the extra ones, but it's tough because the threat of the Zealot run-bys is still very much so there. And he is running around with his own Link Hydra Lurker. This time to the bottom, try and maybe deny that. 6 o'clock would be amazing if he could get there.
I'm honestly impressed by how easy it is for MaxPax to just get back up to 200 supply every single time. You have a little bit of an attack here on the bottom right side, on the bottom side of the map. Super Battery gets activated. Temp is now coming in with the flank as well. The funny thing here for Solar is that there's really no targets on the left side. So it's not like he can do an attack there. I guess he could try and break the natural. That feels a little bit risky maybe. Yeah, Max is just gonna go for 200 supply of what? 43 workers? You're gonna need to build some spores at this point. Spores, infestors. We need Vipers. I would personally have 2-3 Vipers here. The way you want to engage is use a parasitic bomb and then kind of fly in with your corruptors to deal with the carriers. But because there are Tempests as well, it's going to make it difficult. It's just going to depend a lot on the micro in the big fight, and spores can definitely help here. If you're the one with the superior eco, you want that static D.
Static D goes a long way. As you see more units continuing through the middle to the top side. MaxPax making a play towards Link Hydra. As this army taking a different stance, right? He's not really been up to the top with the main army before, so gonna find something there, and there's a couple bases to Solar that are gonna drop. What does Solar want to do about it? Well, currently he's defending against a Zealot Archon run by. It's gonna be easily done. I just wonder if he's gonna try and go down to the bottom side of the map and hit those bases of MaxPax, because it feels like there's a huge opening there. Of course, we've got to be wary of the potential recall and so on, as we do play the Abduct on the Mothership. Can't do that for much longer once the patch goes through, but today we can.
Mothership stays alive though. What's our Viper count currently? 0. It's actually really scary. I think MaxPax, if he wants to send it, he can probably just go right now. I mean, this base is going to be toast. I don't think he's going to be capable of holding this. By the time he's back home, it will die. You need to start putting on some pressure. I wouldn't even mind if Solar splits up a portion of the army to go deal with the bottom side base and just forget about the middle for a bit. I mean, it's not like he has infinite spore crawlers here anyway. Carrier's now moving in forward. Let's see what these corruptors are going to be doing. Target fire on the brutes is okay. Lurkers coming in from the side. Do we have any storms here whatsoever? The answer is no. The corruptors move in, and I think this should be good enough for Solar, right?
Yeah, absolutely right. He's going to be able to clean out everything pretty much. Chase down a few units as well. Corruptors, Queens, Hydras all going to play the chasing game. MaxPax can't do anything but run. He does not have money in the bank. Corruptors in the remax here from Solar already. 14 of them on the way, and with what's currently up for MaxPax, those 14 Corruptors should be good just to play cleanup completely. Lurkers are going to hit the bottom side as well. There's only really Zealots that are near here that can really maybe defend this, so it doesn't look as though they're going to be able to do that either.
GG. Wow. I love it. Impressive.
What part?
The first 3 minutes.
The first 3 minutes of the whole thing? Sure.
Okay, first 4. We do first 4. Until the action starts, okay?
Until the action starts.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final game of this best of 3. In the bottom right, spawning as our blue Protoss player, playing for Storm Gaming. The man, the myth, the legend. He has no name. Yet we call him MaxPax.
In the top left-hand side, the Red Zerg from Korea, a GSL champion, and coming through the trenches to win game 2.
Hold that thought here. Sorry, MaxPax is going for the hedge block, and he might just get it. Crazy moment here in the early game as that drone tried to get the hatchery on the natural, but MaxPax, with a quick interception of the play, is gonna get there first. Sorry, Wardy, continue your introduction, but this was an insane moment that I would not want the viewers to miss.
Solar in the top left-hand corner. Wow, what a moment you caught there. That is something that you just don't see every day because the casters are usually sleeping, introducing players. And now we see a third hatchery down. MaxPax sees it. Gateway building. What do you even go for from here, Soul, with a hatchery out of position?
it's so crazy because your hatch is not connected to your main base, and this is going to be a huge problem for the creep when you're entering the early stages of the mid game. How are you going to deal with the adepts? How are you going to deal with the oracles? Queens can't easily connect between these two bases, and yeah, Solar's going to have to make some big changes in his early game here to try and stay alive against a monster harasser that MaxPax usually is. We see the Cybercore now going down, opting to not get the Forge for some type of cannon rush to maybe punish that out of position hatchery, but instead a Cybercore. That is so interesting for me, going for that quick technology option. We're gonna see that reflected in the tech score in the after game score screen as well, Wardy.
After game score screen is such a huge factor to just see who got the points in there as well. Maybe that's what MaxPax is going for. Maybe playing for some high scores. Who knows? Cybercore will come online. He can get even more technology off of that, of course. The choices are really endless. Twilight, Stargate, Robo, you take your pick. Let's see what MaxPax wants to do. Instant Warp Gate starts. Chrono boosting the Adept as well, instantly as well. Did you see that? The Gateway finished. Adept starts, Chrono boost. As if it was all in one movement. Like, just...
Yeah.
Fluid play. Oh, no way!
You see the cancel on the warp gate to start the Stargate 50
No
gas
way.
faster. Beautiful. And now I wonder, has Solar spotted this? There is an animation on the Cybercore that shows that warp gate is researching, and it was researching first. If Solar is not paying attention, this could be a huge problem here for the Korean Zerg player. Are his eyes used yet to this cybernetics core animation? We're only 14 years deep into this game, so it is hard to say often. Beautiful play here out of MaxPax in the early game, trying his hardest to trick his opponent. As the Adept comes, he's got to snipe the first Ling here, Wardy.
Wow.
Is there a possibility for more here? Do you think we could perhaps get a second Ling and a drone?
I think we're going to get some damage because there's a second Adept coming across the map, but two Lings are going to enter the natural of the Protoss player as well, so this is going to be huge as Solar. He's going to try for Probe. Probes pull, Lings pull back, Probes get back to mine, and the Lings scout the main base. Still, did they see the Oracle? They did, okay. He knows what's up, the Lings are still there.
In the main
oh, no.
of Solar, as one Adept is gonna get knocked down. Split shots here on the drones, beautiful controls. Oh, look at that pullback on the drone. I think this is just a single drone for two Adepts. That is a bad trade, Wardy. Adepts cost 100 minerals and 25 gas, and a drone only cost 50 minerals. Did you really walk all the way across the map just for that? Used 2 chrono boosts just to lose both of them? I think MaxPax is gonna be having some doubts about whether this was the correct play. I appreciate that he tried it, but this was not it. I think this is not a viable build at the highest level against a player like Solar, as these Lings are gonna get the probe snipe as well. MaxPax in a world of trouble here in the early game, floating 700 minerals in the first 4 minutes. Wardy, this is an insane PvZ so far.
That's actually kind of crazy that he's floating so much money that Nexus goes down. This was exhausting, man. Ooh. We can stop now, right? It's 4 minutes.
Yeah, 4 minutes.
Okay.
4 minutes. We're good.
Yeah, that was
thank
exhausting.
God. Yeah, it's always, I think, the most important phase of the game, the first 4 minutes, because it's where the build orders shape up, you know, and it's hard to predict where these games are gonna go between these guys. I haven't seen enough MaxPax PvZs to figure out what he's gonna do, but if I were to put my money on something here, Wardy, I'd say triple Oracle into a Twilight, a Forge. And I'm having a strong leaning towards Blink in this case. What do you think?
You know what? I'm with you. If I was to put money there with you, I'd agree. You know, we wouldn't be able to bet against each other. Put it that way.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. Evo Chamber here coming out of Solar. Wants to go for +1 melee most likely.
Yeah.
Ooh, Robo. It's gonna be charge actually.
Wow. Yeah, that is actually a little bit interesting for MaxPax because he is such a Blink believer, right? Like, he's so good with the Stalker pressure, and he loves it, especially on this map. I feel like he loves pushing into the 4th base with the Blink Stalkers and really being active there. But yeah, a ton of extra gates coming down, like you say, much more likely to be charged with that Robo coming in. An Oracle will die, and that is going to be MaxPax. Yes, drones killed, but one of the Oracles down out of the sky.
Still Blink.
Oh, he still goes Blink. Wow.
Is it then Robo?
Is it just super high pressure? Like, he's really going to commit.
With a Prism?
Yeah.
Oh, he might be doing 4 gas.
What's 4 gas? I mean, I see he's on 4 gas, but...
Stalker Zealot.
Just stay on 4
like
gas?
4 gas, 4th base.
Okay.
Or Robo Bay. Second Forge. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be 4 gas. Okay. Yeah, because this is how he used to play like a year back or so. I sometimes feel like he defaults back to his old styles if he's not winning with his new style. I think this style is significantly worse though.
Because so with 4 gas, you're obviously going to be quite stalker heavy, right? Instead of just like, because you know, we usually talk about low gas counts and like spamming units, but usually that's more like zealot heavy with like an initial set of stalkers. But this allows you to keep building stalkers, right?
You can get a lot of stalkers, but you're gonna do the main harass with the zealots. So the moment the prism comes into play, you're gonna be like warping zealots in main bases and near fifths or near forts. The problem with this is that bailing pushes can be really difficult to hold. You don't have storm, you don't have any archons. So if the Zerg doesn't just, you know, lose like 30 workers or whatever, the Zerg stabilizes, throws down a bailing nest +2 bailing speed, usually tosses in a bit of trouble. The early game already wasn't too hot. I actually believe that what we're seeing here is going to be the Roach, Ling, Ravager, Queen follow-up. This is a build that Lambo created, and a lot of the Zergs from Korea have been trying to, or have been playing it quite a bit. They absolutely love it. Quick +1 evo, and then you still go for the kind of a Roach Ravager all in, but with a very big Ling flood behind it.
Alright, well, you're going to see that Overlord speed finishing, Roach speed coming through the Stalkers, and try and dance back against those Lings. The Stasis Ward will go off and catch a few of those Lings initially, so they will get caught up in there. The Dropper Lord is morphing, the attack is readying, and Solar is going to be full commitment here in the next few moments. And Ling's already across the other side, going to grab a probe, and just little things, of course, would like to keep the Lings alive, as everything's going to count when it comes to this attack.
Yeah, one thing I'm really missing is like a drop heading to the natural. That is such a key play with this. It's hard for TOS to split their army. We are going to send the Queens across already. Solar's going to be very close to max when he hits. And let's take a look at the investment here that MaxPax is doing. His +2 hasn't paid off yet. His charge hasn't paid off yet. He's getting a prison, which is not going to help at all. His Stalker count, however, is phenomenal. I wonder if that's going to be good enough. Uh-oh, that Overlord can die.
Yeah, don't lose the Dropper Lord, as we are going to be seeing the Roach Ravager starting to fight. The Ling's going to peel around the far left-hand side. The Queen's on load here. We're going to start to pressure up in toward the natural as the Stalkers coming down the ramp again. The Ling's hitting that 4th base. There's a few Zealots there. Cannon Battery, I don't see that doing too much, as the Roach Ravager then is going to have a big part of this. Missing the Lings with them being over on the left is kind of sad, right? Because it means your Roach Ravager's taking damage rather than those Lings. You would like to keep the Roach Ravager alive as best you can. These Stalkers have gone down. MaxPax, good control so far as we go back and forth here on front of this natural.
Yeah, I think it's a really good start for MaxPax, and I think Solar regrets this build. Had he known he was playing against 4-gas, I don't think he would have gone for it, because 4-gas defense is actually great against it. You have a good gateway count at 10, you're going to have decent upgrades as well, and there's just going to be loads of Stalkers naturally, so it's pretty much what you want against this. A 6-gas into Storm could have been much harder to defend here for MaxPax. They got a little bit lucky there, as Super Battery does get depowered instantly. He's not going to provide any value here in this battle. MaxPax also supply block. It's his first Immortal joins the battle. +2 attack is about to finish up. +2 armor has started and is about 25% in. Meanwhile, a Zealot run by is happening on the other side of the map, and I honestly think that Solar's going to be in quite a bit of trouble here. He tries to go for a Bailing run by. It's not quite going to connect with a lot of workers. There still is an opportunity, though, for Solar to try and do something. Like, he has Bailing speed on the way. He started his +2 melee. There's still no Storm. There's no Archons here. If you can get a decent Bailing count, we're talking like 25 to 30, you have your Bailing speed, maybe you can go for another max attack, but if he had prepared for that in the first place, I don't think MaxPax would have been in such a great spot.
Overlord goes down that right side. So there's going to be a little supply block as well for Solar to get out of. Overlords are producing. And MaxPax's going to choose the Robo Bay as that next step of his tech, so that'll be online soon. 4 bases set up across the board for the Protoss. Our Zerg's 5th only just now coming online, of course. Not a great drone count with the way this game has gone, but just kind of spamming units right now and getting ready to maybe go utilize some of these units again on the map.
Yep. And it's very important that MaxPax does keep his opponent kind of stuck on his own side of the map. We have Bailings being built, we have a Prism in the main base. The upgrades are becoming a serious issue, though. Not a huge fan of the Immortals being this far forward, but I also believe in MaxPax's judgment, so let's see how that's going to work out. Zealot Runby is going to come in, Roaches are already in position, more Zealots towards the very north. And once again, Solar's also going to have some units in position there. Prism might end up falling, will end up dying. That means that these Queens can now start helping out somewhere else. It's 190 supply to 160. The first Colossus is on the way. 4th base gets sniped. I think Solar needs to send it right now, here.
There's no hanging around, right? Like, just go.
Yeah.
Nothing gets better for you with time, so just go right now.
That's the only thing. Like, build more, all your money into Banes and go. every second he wastes right now is really a terrible second, because his opponent is going to get a bigger army. His opponent is going to get better tech. We see that Colossus as well is out. Thermal Lens on the way. Second Colossus on the way. Okay, he's getting 18, 25 Banes. This is absolutely the correct call. But against 2-2 units, I'm not sure if it's going to be good enough. And especially if Banes get caught like this, terrible, terrible stuff here for Solar.
Going back to deal with the Zealots as well. I mean, there was a moment if you just went at the start, he was like 190 supply to 160. Now it's kind of going to be close to max versus max, which is just not pretty. In fact, MaxPax is even going to be, you know, back on the aggressive side of the map, so he's going to be able to start fighting here. That's how long Solar took. It was definitely an opportunity, but he kind of waited. There was some stasis wards, maybe thinking about +2 melee, but then he had to pull back again. The Banes are caught, and it's all falling apart a little bit for Solar. He does crash in for a few probes on the other side, but he needs more than a few probes right here. He's working with a worse army, and so he needs to find a way to win, and this just ain't it right now.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely ain't it. If a Zealot run by is gonna start hitting this base up top as well. And the problem at this point is that Zealot run bys are so hard to deal with, right? Like even just sending roaches, like you're gonna be fighting with like 0-0 roaches against 3-2 Zealots. This doesn't work. So yeah, MaxPax played this out perfectly, honestly. I really think that Solar got quite unlucky with the build order choice. I think it's a great build order against 6 gas. I think it is not very good against 4 gas. So MaxPax perhaps getting away with murder, but away he did get as he's on 5 base against 4. I don't really see a way for Solar to win.
No, this is waiting for Solar to die kind of vibe at the moment. As the Roach Ravager tries to come down this ramp, a couple more Roaches going down. Roach Ravager continues to get going. It's going to see the Stalker still fighting, and again, the Prism Speed continuing through. The Hive is on the way up. A lot more Lings on the way out. Drones dying to the top side. Zealots are going to go crazy in that mineral line. So they're going to get busy right away up top. There is another little counterattack, but it's just not comparable to the damage MaxPax is doing. GG. Solar put up one hell of a fight, but MaxPax takes the semi-final 2-1 and sets up